Drum Matrix.
You looking real good, baby. Yes, you is. I just want you to know I had a wonderful time this evening. Yes, I did. And unfortunately, I guess this is the part of the story where we tell each other good night. Nah. How about this? How about I break all the rules and tell you what I really been thinking, baby?
Girl, you got a big old ass and bold legs and fire hair and all the shit that I want. Sexy motherfucker, acting like you want it right now. Let a nigga know is we gon' fuck tonight.
Welcome to another edition of The Truth. I am your moderator, P-Player 2 Cole, joined by co-host H Money Moolah.
Thanos real deal, cuz.
Also joined by Cuzzo, also known as what number are you now?
It's still 29.
What is it? 720? What is it?
29 Savage. 29.
Also joined by fellow Wide Jacket Pride, fellow Wakanda, and my main man Coop. What's happening?
Get money for.
What'd you say?
I like to say get money fuck bitches.
Know what you said, Coop?
I just said get money. I ain't want to say the B word online.
But that was what
But
you
it's
meant.
implied. It's
Yeah.
implied. It's implied.
But that what you meant?
Take it as it is.
Boy, these niggas should be so ambiguous. Listen, guys, we got a full show today where we're talking about a mirage of topics that we're going to get into today. We have, starting off with, do you think that men and women can actually, in real life, understand each other? My main man, Coop, let's go ahead and get him, baby. Let's get him out the way. Let them know they can.
Small sample size. I don't think for the majority wise that men and women would truly understand each other. I just think the simple fact that most men have a different mindset from women. The biggest thing, like we said in previous shows, that women think with emotions and men think more with logic. So when you got somebody who's logically thinking and somebody who's emotionally thinking, there's going to already be a disconnect there, because one person is thinking too much emotion. That means she's in the moment or that time, and another person is thinking logic. They're thinking more about that moment and what's going on moving forward and what led up to that moment. So when you have two people who are going to be off course like that, of course, for the majority, no, you're not going to be able to get along, but you're going to have pockets where two people really sit down and really get an understanding of each other and respect one another's opinion. So that's the biggest thing that you can hope for. You can hope that maybe you're that small percentage or that small pocket that truly sit down and really get an understanding of one another. So, that's my thing for it. Will men and women truly be able to get along and have an understanding? I think you can get along in pockets, but I think overall, I just think that's why you see women gravitate to their homegirls and why dudes talk to their homeboys a lot about situations, because I think sometimes you just have to have somebody with the same mind frame and understanding where you're coming from. And with men not being as emotional and with some women not being as logical as some men, I think that's why you're going to always kind of see this disconnect.
All right. H Money Moolah. And we're talking about as far as, we're not just talking about it in general, we're talking about as far as, because your answer was more so along the lines within the relationship, right, Coop?
Yeah, that was relationship-wise. But if we just talking about on general friendship-wise, yeah, I think you and some women can get along. Like I said, you're gonna have those people who just don't. Y'all gonna come be cut kind of from the same cloth and have some type of understanding. So yeah, I think a lot of people have cool female friends who y'all really get along. Y'all might not. It's just like your homeboy. Y'all might not agree on everything, but for the most part, y'all agree.
You know what? Before I move ahead, I just like to say that I definitely agree with you, your stance as far as in a relationship, because I think that seems to be true. More so, especially when you're not in a relationship with a woman. To me, they are the more logical thinker, and men, for the most part, depending on the female we're talking about, or can be the irrational one. But
is that what he said?
no, he was in a relationship. He was saying that men are the more logical ones, and
How
women.
you agree with him if you saying if you?
No, I agree with their relationship part. As far as not being in a relationship, as far as from my experience, whether it's professional or whatever it may be, women are the more logical thinkers that don't deal with emotion. I have. So.
You talking about the minority or the majority?
I don't know. I'm just talking about me. I don't know.
I'm
just talking about me.
With your experiences, you talking about the minority or the majority of women who deal with logic?
The majority of women that I've dealt with have been that way. They're not in a relationship.
Have dealt with logic.
Or that we didn't have any type of physical attraction or shit like that.
Have dealt with logic.
Correct. Matter of fact, women are some of the more smarter ones. Because what I've seen is men in the past have got into pissing contests with each other. You know what I'm saying? That are seen to throw them off their kilter when you're in a competitive environment, and they want to have a pissing contest. But women, for the most part, have been some of the best people that I work with ever. Period. But that's just me.
Are you pandering to a certain?
I ain't pandering nobody. I'm telling you what. But I've always said that. This ain't nothing new. I've always said that.
On the show, you've always said.
No, I've always said it in real life. Like I've told you in real life, even when we was at the call center, that Jackie and Jane, they were.
Okay, that's two people.
No,
How many women you work with?
No, I'm saying as far as that I directly work with. Those are the women that I directly work with. But
that's a really small sample size. You talking about women directly?
No, that's not a real small sample size. I work directly with Jane. I work directly with it wasn't number like 5 of y'all, cuz.
No. Right. So I'm saying
you talking about women in the entire call center?
Yeah. Because
they were my best employees.
But you had women.
They were my best employees.
Say, man.
Straight up, by far.
I ain't even mad at them. I ain't even.
I'm like, I'm going.
Not by far. They
I have no comeback to that. I know exactly what it's going for.
No, by far, women have been the best employees that I had.
I have no comeback to
within that environment. By far the best. Like when you think about a Sophie, who was I thought she was amazing.
She was.
When you think about I thought Patricia did a wonderful job. I think she may have had issues as far as dealing with the employees, but as far as her doing the admin work, I thought she did a good job. Let me see, because I'm thinking about
drawing the blank.
No, because I'm just thinking about the female supervisor. I'm trying to think back to them. It was a lot of, but for the most part, the men that I dealt with, a lot of y'all were trash, hot garbage. On the cool, hot.
You can say that about the women.
Yeah, you can, but I'm saying about the men, hot garbage. Women were the best. Like when you had niggas like who you had? PJ. PJ was horrible.
PJ put up numbers.
PJ was yeah.
Numbers tell you
because you just named somebody
straight
who
up.
You just named somebody
numbers
who didn't
will tell you different.
Statistically, you just named somebody who didn't produce.
PJ put them numbers up.
PJ ain't do nothing. PJ team
put them numbers
PJ
up.
Team put.
You told me
that nigga was.
Who was in charge of the team?
Sean. And that damn Smee he had. That damn woman Smee he had running the team when he wasn't there. That's who was in charge of the goddamn team.
He just named somebody who wasn't good statistically. Straight up, she was good.
She was good.
She wasn't terrible. PJ Smee did that shit. We not.
Well, kudos for him for that.
Straight up, he recognized that talent and knew what to do.
Yeah, he gonna be hey man, what you got, baby? I'm about to do this for y'all.
Come on.
A lot of y'all niggas trash.
Who's a lot? A lot of niggas wasn't trash. Because like about this, the women outnumbered the men.
Were you downstairs?
Yeah,
they was trash down there too.
Who? You
talking about you talking about your group?
Yeah.
No, downstairs.
Who was trash downstairs?
Who was all downstairs? I just know y'all was trash down there.
Who?
Not all y'all. You were decent.
God,
you were decent. You were decent. You were. You were decent.
Because the best TL you had was a male. The best ACM you had, me, motherfucker. The best ACM you had was a man. Who better than me?
Maybe
well, we carried that thing, cool.
Who is we?
Downstairs.
Nigga, the whole
you were downstairs?
This nigga.
Because I remember him being upstairs. But I guess that's when you was a team leader when you
Yeah, then they came downstairs and it was a rap.
When I got my own unit.
I don't know who you were. I mean, you alright.
Well, what about Terrell?
What about? I don't remember Terrell like that. Like I remember like your team leader like
I don't know how you don't remember these numbers, cuz.
No, I remember.
Hell yeah, he remember.
I remember.
He can recite everything in them days, but he playing with you.
Go ahead, Harry.
I know.
On you, baby.
No, I actually
Big game, Jane.
I agree with Coop though, man. Like in a relationship, that's why I say women are more emotional. Men are more logical, but that's why I say like I feel like to the point of when they're not in a relationship, like they don't have any emotions tied to it, so they're not as emotional to the point that Clark was actually trying to make. I kind of somewhat agree with him in that because they're able to talk to you more freely because they really don't have any kind of emotion involved behind it. But once the emotions get involved into that, there is no understanding. So before a relationship, like you can have a female friend that like y'all really
Well,
like.
What you say about the women that say they can disconnect, or the ones that's acting more so like men?
That's slim, man. It's slim. They may put up that big front, but at the end of the day, cause you're still a female, like you still have them emotions. You just choose not to express that shit how you want to.
A lot of dudes act like females too.
It is.
Oh, you saying that's the minority? Cause I don't.
But minority of dudes act like females.
Correct.
No, nowadays it's probably majority.
So what about the minority? So you still say the majority of females do act like that too?
Yeah.
And just the majority of male.
Yeah.
All right. Cuzzo,
Nah.
what you got, baby?
What was the question?
Can't believe this nigga said.
I can't.
Come on, man. Nigga trip.
Say, now you were just decent, dog.
I feel you, cuz.
Do you think men and women can actually understand each other?
I don't think nobody had a streak like I did.
I
Had who?
I think they had a streak like
yeah, I did.
Nah, man, we put it on the emails, dog. We ain't finna go that shit.
What streak you had?
We ain't finna go that, dog.
What streak you had?
We ain't finna go there.
No, I'm saying what streak you had? What streak you had?
Say, cuz y'all don't do this.
What streak you had?
90 plus?
I'm saying for how long?
Cause I did that shit for like 7 months.
90 plus what?
What you mean?
What was that shit? Wait, what?
You talking about 9 plus what?
Hey, boy, you was
I
investigating, trying to see what the fuck we were doing downstairs,
no,
cuz.
I wasn't. I ain't care less what you was doing. Let's be clear on that.
I'm
Only time you see me when you suck. That's the only time you see
That was
me.
rare.
Okay. So that's the only time you see me. So you're a lie investigator. Because if that was the case, PJ was big on you.
Be clear. Be clear. He saw you. Now he came to see you. 90 plus what? I'm trying to figure out what
Man,
you
nigga,
know.
that nigga had on 90 plus.
Man, you a lie!
Not for no 7 months in a row you did.
That's no one has ever done
That's-
that.
Bruh, you
Nigga, you
niggas.
did 85, you were doing something.
I was way above 85, cuz.
Where the fuck was that?
That nigga lying.
Downstairs!
90 plus,
No.
7 months in a row?
If it wasn't 7, it was about a good 4.
No, that ain't.
Nah, hair.
I was killing, cuz.
Hair. Come on now.
You need to stop the alcohol, homeboy.
Yeah, you crazy. Because you got down there with about, so you got about 30 scores a day.
It was killing.
Because you didn't get no 90% on no 1,000 scores, cuz. You didn't get
So both of us wrong.
Nigga, you get like 1,000 scores a month. You ain't no
nobody
nine.
gets no 90
Ain't no
nowhere.
9.
I had a 90, cuz.
No.
You probably had a 90, but you didn't have no damn 90 for no
I did.
4 plus months.
You ain't in no month in no 90.
I did.
Yeah, nigga. You probably had about 88, 89. I've seen people do that. But you ain't had no 90 for no 7 or 4 consecutive months. That ain't never happened. You going on with that shit.
Let's get your wife on the phone.
Yeah, you making that shit up.
What?
Let's get on the phone. She remember this shit.
That nigga making that shit up.
Hey, for real. You put that out your
I'm
ass,
not,
boy.
cuz.
Yeah, you are. You nigga, as a matter of fact, you're lying.
I'm not.
That's what the fuck is called. You're lying. 90?
You probably listen. I'm not disagreeing that you were a good team leader. I'm not disagreeing with that. But for you to say you had 90% for 4 to 7 months, that is utterly
ridiculous.
And that's a lie. A flat out lie. You flat out lying.
Alright.
You motherfucking anti.
Nigga, you were lying. Nigga, we looked at the shit every day. What the fuck are you talking about, nigga? Shit.
Okay.
This shit, we just gonna be talking about.
So why Sean want to promote Orlando over you? Actually, want to promote a lot of niggas over you.
Now you lying. Now you lying.
I'm not lying.
Nah.
Here, I'm not lying. He liked you.
When I spoke up for Orlando.
He spoke up for Orlando a number of times.
Let's talk about
that
this.
nigga spoke up for Derrick over you too.
Let's talk about this.
Okay.
He spoke up
How
for
Orlando get the job?
I don't remember. Nigga, I know.
How you don't remember? How you got so?
Because Derek was a damn idiot?
Nope. So when me and you came back from doing whatever we were doing, and he sent that email to me, you, and Jeff, what the email said, Jonathan?
I don't know. Nigga, I don't know. You know
Well,
how many
you
emails I got?
say, man, if it's a nigga who ain't shit, it's you. If you are consistent. You know damn well what the motherfucking letter
That nigga
said.
like the Orlando over you.
See how he keeps saying ignoring
Like
me?
the-
That nigga know damn well how Orlando got that job. He had shit to do with
That
me.
nigga like Greg over you. PJ, straight up. I said, man, what PJ is, man? I don't know. What the fuck you talking about? You don't know.
I didn't give a fuck.
It's 12 o'clock on a Saturday. Nigga should have started
One
that.
nigga don't consistent 88 motherfucking month. It was that nigga. I don't give a fuck.
That nigga, definitely. So so y'all know what you talking about.
What?
I know a nigga wrote you up before, cuz. I know that for a
I
fact.
don't remember right here.
I do.
What wrote me up for?
Probably being
Being
trash.
below gold.
Man, that was for like a. I sure remember that shit, nigga. I was below for like a fucking week, nigga.
Nah. It was a month. It wasn't
no month.
You can't write nobody up for an end 2 week number, cuz. It was for a
Because
month.
he pulled me in the office.
I was in there. He never wrote nobody up for an end 2 week number. That makes no sense.
Anyway, if it was for that month, that next month I killed that shit.
Yeah, you would trash that month.
Wasn't trash after
Had
that,
to
though.
come see me, cuz.
We was in the other room, nigga saying, hey, man, what's going on?
Man, way on the other one where we come.
Yeah.
Back to the topic at
I
hand.
was over there with them.
Yeah, I understand women ain't shit. What else I need to understand?
Yeah.
What's your email, bro?
Jones.Sean81@gmail.com.
It's coming, boy.
I understand that. What I need to understand about it. Have a thorough understanding that women ain't shit.
Somebody got to do it.
I don't subscribe.
Y'all sitting here with these politically correct answers. You pandering to a certain demographic.
I ain't pandering to nobody.
You
I've
sitting
always
here
said
and
that.
you know
though.
what, Cody? I want to say that I do agree with you. I do think that men use logic in most cases. I think men are more literal, and I think women do react off emotion. I think that is the majority, not the minority. But Jonathan made some sense. I just think it's definitely not to the degree of which he's speaking about, because again, I want y'all to know we talked to Jonathan offline, not being recorded, and a lot of times he has a different opinion.
That nigga lying.
People are too cold.
You a liar. I have always been consistent.
This is a different nigga here.
I have always been consistent in that.
John D. Claude here.
Man, come on, man.
Straight up.
Yeah, now listen, man. Can't
think
nobody
you-
take this from you.
I'm not
You
saying
are
that you wasn't
consistent.
good. I'm just
We ain't
saying-
going back to that, Cole. What the you talking about?
You talking about that, Claude?
I'm just saying the women were better, girl. Period.
Nah.
Statistically?
Nah, but I don't just. That's not just the only thing I look at. So I'm looking at the overall.
What you cared about?
I'm looking at.
No, what did you care about?
I care about it all. I care about if I'm able to have a damn conversation with you. I care about if you able to articulate what it is that
What was
you
number
doing
one?
wrong and how you gonna be able to fix
What
it.
was number one?
No, they all went together.
What was number one?
Nigga ain't one no number one. They all was number one.
Stats was number one?
Nigga said
Nah, that shit wasn't number one. No. I ain't think PJ was motherfucking. His number probably better than yours, but I ain't think he was motherfucking exceptional. I ain't think he was the best team leader ever in life at all.
But he gave you the numbers.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, but I didn't think he was the best. That's what I'm telling you.
Asked about many
Yeah, he
conversations
did, but I didn't think he was best. I've had a number of conversations with PJ. You wanna know why I stopped having conversations with
Ask him how
PJ?
many.
You wanna know why?
Ask him how many performance-based conversations.
You wanna know why? Do you wanna know
That
why?
nigga had a number of conversations with that nigga because he a damn lie.
For one, nigga can't talk.
We ain't finna go this.
What's wrong with y'all,
We ain't
nigga?
finna go there, dog.
About to sit up here and torture myself.
And nigga ain't want. Nah, he
Well, I'd much rather have you talk.
He ain't
Man,
want
I'm
much
gonna
more
sit up
Terrell.
here
Nigga
talking
say he told you he didn't remember Terrell, and he was the one who promoted the nigga.
I'm that's the Ray little brother.
Hey, don't
My
do
partner,
that.
man,
Wait,
nah.
don't do that.
Hey, my partner, my motherfucking boy, big money. Big money, my partner, cuz. He like, shit, my little brother, man. Check your little brother out, man. My little homie, cuz. It was a little homie at the city. It was a little homie. Hey, shit, might well, cuz. Get that money, kid.
He gonna light your ass up when you hear this.
What you mean? Shit, he was a little homie. He was a little homie, cuz. Cool, one Terrell a little homie.
Yeah.
See that?
That nigga Coop has no idea.
Yeah.
He was a bird too.
Yeah.
He was there with us.
Yeah.
He was a little homie, cuz. Anyway, let's move on, man. I ain't got time for y'all niggas. Let's move on, man. But just to be clear, Sean was by far the best team manager in ACM ever. Well, aside from myself, of course.
But women was the best workers. Yeah.
No, I'm saying he was the best. I'm saying him. He was the best. I'm just talking about him. But number 2, 3, 4, and 5 are probably women. But I'm just saying he was the best. That's all I'm saying. That's it. That's all I'm saying, brother. How do you know when she's the one?
He ain't letting this shit go.
He ain't letting it go.
No, you ain't letting it go. You standing a hole in that nigga, cuz you don't want to hear that shit. It's all good, though.
Seen that nigga in that day with that bro.
Man, come on, bro. Chill out,
know how
man.
both of y'all got in there.
This nigga gotta chill out, dog.
She a bit too
Hey, cuz, what's going on, man? Nigga,
You know you lying with
nigga.
270, nigga.
She was
That
270.
bit almost 3.
You was on the desk with her.
No, I was not. Come on, man. Like, you
I
really,
called
like...
I called him immediately, cuz.
Oh.
The shit threw me off.
But you was lying, though.
This nigga on the day with this
Dog,
bro. I don't know how
nigga,
this bitch.
oh, you was lying,
Matter of
though,
fact, there's
dog.
got to be some type of violation.
You told me you walked in.
They about to come shut us down, this bitch.
No, this nigga walked in and asked me what I was doing. I was like, I'm doing the coach said, oh, no, I'm going to call Sean. I already knew what you was doing,
Girl,
huh?
you was on the desk with
I
her,
was
girl.
not.
Man, you was side jacking on different. Matter of fact, you was sucking at that point. That's why I was
Hey,
there.
come on,
I'm
dog.
trying to figure out what the hell you had going on. Hey, this nigga,
You gotta chill
nigga
out,
realize sucking. Nigga put side
Man,
jacking
you got
under the deck with it, bro. Man,
She was on your
your
team? She was, I don't remember that.
You remember she had to get moved to me, remember?
Who team she was on before?
Orlando.
That's why she had to get moved.
How do you know she's the one? y'all might not fake on my boy.
Then she got moved after I took that nigga schedule. Straight up.
Orlando talking about.
I think for real deal.
Straight up.
A lot of y'all niggas was tough though.
Y'all.
Yeah.
What?
Lonzo was tough.
Alonzo was talking to motherfucker.
I didn't give a fuck.
Oh, somebody else did?
Blind, crippled, crazy.
Man, this nigga here, boy.
Cuzzo ain't give a fuck.
Oh.
Hey, Money ain't give a fuck.
Oh.
T Money ain't give a fuck.
Leave me out of there.
PJ was tough.
I was
Greg was tough too.
I was very discreet. Greg was tough in the bitch.
Fred beating them hoes.
I was
When they got in trouble.
very discreet in the way I moved. Now we ain't finna talk on
I
me.
can't believe some of y'all. Anyway, Harry.
Can't believe some of us.
Yeah. How do you know when she's the one?
That's a good question.
Shit.
Shit, nothing taking that big deep ass breath.
We're gonna come back to Harry. Cause I can't have him fuck this one up. Let's just
Hey, for
everything's
real.
been going great.
They have, dog. They been going.
So let's just think about it. Let's get some more answers before you get into this. Don't worry about it. I got you.
They been going
I got
great,
you.
good.
Cuzzo, how do you know she's the one?
Fuck it up today.
I ain't got nothing for you.
He sure don't. I don't even know why the fuck you. Cool. How you know when she the one? I ain't got nothing.
I don't know neither. Shit, I ain't married.
We ain't got nothing.
Damn, so this just a Harry question?
You ain't got necessarily be married.
Who you talking to, Carl? Carl, who you talking to?
No, I'm just saying, I ain't married. I don't know. Shit.
I'm just saying you ain't got necessarily like for instance, like with your ex, you were just raving about her, not necessarily.
Whoa. Man, he stay bringing her up on this
No,
motherfucking show.
I'm saying, but that's the only ex I know about that he really liked like that.
I'm pretty sure he tired of bringing her ass up on this show, though. I'm pretty sure he tired of that shit.
Cool, you tired of me bringing up your ex on this show?
He ain't gonna say it
Yeah,
right
leave
now.
her out, dog. I don't want her to hear this show and think something bad.
Oh yeah, I forgot she is engaged. Ace Money.
This nigga here.
How do you know when she's the one? Let me
Wait, I'm gonna get my ass. Hold on, wait.
I go first.
You talk to the ball.
No, I'm saying I go first. When you know she the one, as far as someone. No, I'm saying I go first because I guess because I wouldn't have no experience with it. Like my main man, Coop. My apologize, Coop. As far as like with someone being able to conversate with, being able to see a future with, being able to make lifelong goals and plans with, someone that you're able to feel like you can tolerate for an extended period of time, or someone that you feel like is possible you can't possibly do without. So those are some of the examples that I would give. Hair is on you. How you know what somebody wants?
Oh my God.
Niggas just gonna try to walk past this shit.
Woo! Oh, viewers, I'd like to apologize, good. Woo! Clark ain't shit. Ain't shit, dog.
So how you know? How you know she?
Hey, he skated right past that.
And then just went on to speak so eloquently, you can recognize how she the one.
Oh my God.
Think I used to switch gears like that.
Jesus. Okay. You know what? Brother Clark actually just gave a really good answer.
That's what I'm talking
You
about.
heard that answer?
Follow suit.
I heard bits and pieces, man.
Follow suit.
Oh my God.
Follow suit, baby.
I couldn't
But,
show
it
it
is,
over the fact that I couldn't breathe.
When you reach that point, man, where, like, you know, you can see yourself with this person for an extended amount of time. You can see yourself, you know, knowing that, hey, man, it's going to be some battles. But you know what? I'll really stick it out with this person. Like, knowing
I'd rather go through this with you than
I'd
anybody
rather
else.
go
What I'm
this
talking
shit
about,
with you
hair?
than anybody else.
What I'm talking about,
Now, would you know she the one?
Yeah, there's a lot of other shit going on.
Y'all bloodshot red.
What about that hot mouth?
Oh, sex gotta be fine. That ain't everything. Top of the list, but it ain't everything.
No real though.
Top 5, 3, but it ain't everything.
3.
But it ain't everything.
How much of it is it?
Shit, it's a lot. But now, man, you with some person, well, you with a person, man, and like, you know, you guys have an understanding, like the communication is great. It's kind of like it's nothing too big for you guys that you guys just really can't handle, man. Like,
Oh, shit,
that's
she
some
is
shit.
one.
Yeah, what I'm saying, like that's some
Shit.
shit that you just can't find. Like, you're not gonna find that in every female, honestly and truthfully. So when you can see that you are finding that within that person, man, like that shit make you just move different. It make you think different. And that's when you start to really just be like, you know what, bro, like I can be with this one like for the rest of my life. Like it ain't shit that we can't go through and like not bounce back from.
That's pretty good, though.
Nigga, fucking another nigga. That's hard to bounce back from.
Yeah.
You bounce back from that?
Okay, so like 99%.
99%. I've always been strong stance on that, brother. I knew he was gonna bring that shit up though.
No. But I'm saying you have. But I'm just saying you have been strong stance on that. I think you gave a great answer, man. You know what I'm talking about? Exceptional answer, brother.
I'm looking for some of that there you talking about.
You doing?
It's hard to find, cuz.
Shit, I know it.
Hard out here, man.
I already know it.
Keep looking.
You ain't preaching to the choir.
Keep moving forward. Best way that a woman can express her feelings to a gentleman.
By shutting the fuck up.
Woo! Hate me a tough today, boy.
What? What you say, boy? I'm gonna let you go ahead and get this shit out.
What?
What's the best way a woman
29.
best way a woman can express her feelings to a gentleman? Cuzzo.
The best way.
The best way.
After you can cook something real good, then let's talk about it.
That real.
Yeah.
Nigga, listen on here.
Give you a nice full plate of pork chop, bracket rice and cheese, little mashed potato.
Nigga ain't even trying to raise his voice.
Hey, for real, you talking about what you want to talk about now? Talking about those out in the motherfucker.
What if she don't cook?
Whoa, now we got problems.
Uphill about it. I don't know if ain't gonna be in this bitch. Uphill about it is. I think, man.
So the
you
best
know
way a
how-
woman can express herself to you is after she done cooked you
Nah, I
something.
told you about shut the fuck up. I think that when you meet a woman and you realize that, you know what, she's not very articulate or she can't explain herself, she can't explain her emotions without yelling or without having, or not being condescending and shit like that, you probably won't cut her loose right then, man.
Yep.
Because if she's expressing herself, she has a legit complaint possibly or a legit problem, or maybe she just want to tell you how she feels. I think women can do all of that easily. Like, I don't think it's hard to communicate. You know what I'm saying? Now, we've had discussions about who communicates better, who doesn't communicate better, things of this nature, and things of that nature. But all in all, if you know how to talk in a tone in which a person can receive it. You know how to convey a message to where a person can apply to real life situations. Your body language is really good. Your tone is subtle. Excuse me. I think it's easy. I don't think it's hard. Now, I think it's hard based off the fact that the numbers show that a lot of people can't do it, and we're talking about women here specifically. So, I've met women who fumbled over things of this nature. Excuse me. And I'm a pretty direct person, you know. Just come on out with it. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're not being disrespectful or you're not yelling, we can talk about anything. I'm not above any type of conversation. So, excuse me, I think the best way she can tell you is to just come on out and tell you. You know, don't hit him at 10 o'clock with the, we need to talk. You're going to fuck his whole day up. So don't, you know, hey, man, I want to talk to you about a few things. What's on your mind? And you go from there, like, how...
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
I'll hit you with that at 10 o'clock in the morning. Oh, well, no, we'll just...
No, we talk, what is it about?
Tell me about the shit from right now, then.
Well, what is it about? No, we'll talk about it later. Man, I don't do that shit now.
Yeah, straight up. You done fucked up my whole day.
For real. Any message that you want to deliver to a man, shit, hey, you busy? Nah, what's up? I just want to talk to you about a few things. Shit, well, come on out with it. You probably want to rehearse it in your head a few times before you say it, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, they ain't doing that.
What's your email address?
It was so good last segment.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that.
Just erased it.
No, I didn't. Actually, I'm gonna help them out though, cause like,
because
I agree with everything.
Some women do get nervous in that regard. You know
And they
what I'm
do.
saying? So rehearse it in your head first. Excuse me. Go over with one of your partners who you trust. Cause I know you done told her about it before you done told me about it. You did?
You don't really know if it depends on the partner though, folks.
That's her business. She can't pick her friend right. I ain't got shit to do with me. I'm just saying if you are nervous to the fact that you were to where you think that man isn't receptive of what you say normally, then shit, you need to try a different avenue to go down. So if you need to talk, call your mother, your sister, your whomever, you dig? If you got a male friend, talk to Buddy. All I'm saying is it shouldn't be this hard. I spent too much time talking about how a woman should express her feelings. Just come on out and say it, man. Because I've dealt with situations to where they pick the most inopportune time to discuss it. Or they wait when the train damn near off the track to want to discuss it. You've already been derailed, but I don't know how you're going to get back on course because you waited too late to say whatever it was you had to say. You dig? Just come on out and say it.
Ace Money.
No, I agree with what Sean said. I would say this though, man. Like, take emotion out of it though. Most of the time, when female, like when they get to that point, like they emotions are a lot into it, and that can kind of change how the delivery of the message comes out to the man. Because if they frustrated at that moment in time, then the frustration is gonna come out in that message. Take the emotion out of it, and then also, man, like. Kind of like what Sean was saying, man, like, just get to the point. Let's not draw this whole damn thing out and you done talk for 30, 45 minutes, then we get on what the fuck the issue is. Like, just go up into that thing, hey, you know what, we need to have a conversation. Well, this is what this conversation is about. Boom, bam, right there in the beginning. Don't tell me about all this shit just leading up to this shit that I wasn't even fucking paying attention to.
Don't give them no appetizer. Just
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, just come on and tell me exactly what it is. And like, honestly and truthfully, like, don't be afraid. Kind of like to the point that Sean was saying, like, don't be afraid to have that conversation. Don't wait till shit done hit the fan and everything is just all wrong before you finally decide to sit down and say something. Because the first thing I'm going to say to you is, well, like, damn, cuz, why didn't we talk about this, like, when it first became an issue? Like, you bringing this up now, and hell, clearly, based on this conversation, shit, this done.
Now, I do think it's a time and place for everything, so that doesn't mean you have to have the conversation right then, because a lot of times you're still emotional.
Yeah, but don't let it get to that point where, like, it's just far gone.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? And then, like, I just think that majority of the time, this is with men or with women, like, they hold it in and they build up to it. Even when they do have that conversation, it's just going to be so much emotion.
Yeah.
Like, it's just too much emotion. Even though they may start off good, the more they start to thinking about it, the more it start to piss them off. Then, okay, now the tone done changed in the argument. Like, when it's a serious and real deal conversation, try your best to keep emotions out of it.
If you have a lady who you've been with her for 2 years and she wondering what the next step is, I can see her bringing that conversation to you in a respectful manner, right?
Yeah.
The problem is...
the answer that you give is whether she gonna go crazy.
Yeah, that's what's gonna set her motherfucking ass up. So, most folk, when you ask a question, I ain't gonna say most folk, but I like to think that a lot of times you ask a question, you already know the answer, so that way you're able to deal with the rebuttal better. You know what I'm saying? So don't get out of character. Don't let him knock you off your rocker. Stay consistent, because if you trying to express how you feel, don't let nothing deter you from doing that. So even if he isn't receptive, okay, we can come back and touch on this at a later moment. Because I see right now you probably had a bad day or, something to that effect. I'm just telling you about your tone, your body language, your dig. You really ain't here with me right now, so we can just talk about it later. Well, shit, all right then.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
And people need to understand this, man. Like, in a serious conversation like that, people need to listen to understand and not listen to respond.
Oh, yeah. You got 2 ears and one mouth.
Yeah, majority of that time, like, if they talking for 15 minutes and the first sentence that came out their mouth pissed you off, you ain't listened to shit else outside that first sentence. And the first thing you finna say is finna be a comeback to that first motherfucking sentence.
They got you off your rocker. You talking from experience now, boy. They got you off your rocker.
Like, straight up. Like, dog, you gotta listen to understand, man. You just can't listen to respond. Because honestly and truthfully, like, that person could have told you exactly, like, what was wrong, why they been feeling that way, and you didn't even pay attention to it straight up.
You got selective hearing.
Yeah, like, you heard what you wanted to hear, and now you ready just to attack the shit.
How many times you didn't have to face palm yourself because you be like, that's all you heard?
Yep. Straight up. Like, everything I done said, folks, like, that's just it. Like, that's the one thing you picked out, huh? Nah, man. Like, you have to, man. You have to listen to understand and not listen to respond. Like, that shit is huge.
Cool. It's on you, black man.
I would say the best thing, I agree with a lot of stuff that both brothers said. I would say the best thing when they were saying not to respond, I think the best thing too is not to be long-winded. Best thing you probably do if you got a lot of issues.
That's a good one.
Speak on the issues. Speak on issues when they occur, or break those down into conversations. Like when somebody rants at you and gives you 10 different things that they don't like. Of course, you tend to, like Harry and Sean was saying, of course you tend to not want to hear what they're saying because they just gave you 10 negative pieces of information. You have to break that down. You can't get nobody 10 straight negative pieces of information. Hey, this is what you do wrong, this is what you do wrong. No, break it down. Hey, can we work on this and this? Also, I would just say, piggyback off what they're saying, like, hey, don't let stuff build up. If you're in a relationship and you know something piss you off, find a way to address it that day or address it soon. I think with men, especially with, I know with myself, don't nobody want to hear nothing about nothing that happened 3 months ago. You know what I'm saying? I done forgot about it. I don't remember it. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Straight up. And then, Coop, now you done made her mad because you don't remember the shit.
Exactly. So, don't harbor on the things that happened a long time ago. Either address it or let it go. Because the simple fact is, ain't nobody be remembering all that stuff. Like, shit, I barely remember what I did yesterday sometimes. I'm just saying. So, it's just best to always just keep the conversation current and keep the situations current, and don't be long-winded. That would be the best thing I would just tell women, because most people attention span leaves after about 2 to 3 minutes.
All right, valuable feedback, young men gay to women.
Yeah, your turn.
Take heed. What I got?
Wasn't even paying attention.
How you with a woman? Let me see. I agree with Brother Coop. What he was saying as far as the part about try to stay current. Try not to let things fester. When situations arise that you may have an issue with, I think it's important that you address those situations then. And also knowing how to talk to men is very important. Not saying that you need to walk on eggshells when addressing men, but at the same time, being able to have that conversation with men to able to try to get the desired result that you're trying to get. It's not necessarily we want you to acquiesce to us, but at the same time, whatever you're addressing with us is something that you want us to fix, acknowledge, or whatever it may be. And vice versa, as far as being able to come to someone like you would want them to come to you, or explain the situation how you want them to come to you. And hopefully you guys can be able to have a better understanding of whatever it is that's troubling whatever party, and being able to talk and articulate those things out to express yourselves. Because the goal would be, the best ideal situation would be that you guys have one ideal goal, which is to ensure that each is happy, and you want to do your best to try to make sure your partner is happy. So I think that's the best way. That's one of the best ways anyway. So that's what we got. And let's move on to our last topic, which we were able to get feedback from a number of females as far as about what a woman's role is in a relationship. We received a number of responses from females. I think one said a female role, she has many roles, but the most important role is to make things better for her man, be his shoulder to lean on, his friend, his encourager, his reason he want to be better. That was a reason. That's what one of the responses. Another one wants to be his nurturer, the backbone, best friend, confidant, to keep him covered. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming that's a church term. Provider, in a sense, a helpmate. Another one young lady said it was a loaded one. Whatever the two parties involved agree upon, which I definitely agree with that. So in that case, manifests itself in a different way depending on the guy. But the goal is to make sure his needs are met and he has peace of mind. Also his spiritual covering. Also his partner, his vision is work that he can't see. I think one of them said maybe be his third eye. She his cheerleader, his companion. She has his back at all times. I think this may be, no, we got two more. She said she see a relationship as a partnership, which means that we have no roles per se. We are equal regardless of whatever situation it is. We are first responsible for self emotionally, what she put in parentheses. Then there are after a responsible one to act in every aspect equally. No one can say I put in more or I do more. She's more along the lines of equal partnership, which it sounds different. And hold on, I got a few more. Let me see. I try to be home with my dude where he runs to after he's going up against the world. Be his diary, his supporter mentally, emotionally, and spiritually in his corner. His backbone, so call it. Follow his lead, pick up where he lack, feed him, cater to him. Another young lady said, woman role is to be a good partner, support him, be a creator of a home he can't wait to get back to after a long day. Be his best friend, personal freak, and fiercest encourager. And this one right here says, be his strength when he's weak, filling those empty spaces where he's not whole. Be his third eye, like I was just talking about. That's the young lady that said it. So those are some of the roles that females say that they role that they play in a relationship. I'd like to get you guys feedback on how you feel about those ladies mentioning their roles.
You can go ahead and tell us how you felt about it when we were discussing it.
I don't feel. I mean, I feel like I guess it's different because it depends on the person. It depends on the two people. It depends on the two people that are involved as far as what you're able to discuss and talk about. But normally, from my feedback, from my experience, what you get from a woman is more so along the lines of the emotional part. It's not necessarily. It's all emotional. Like when you say like a spiritual cover, be his backbone, shit he can listen to. All that shit sounds fine and dandy. To me, I think it sounds fine and dandy. But the difficult part is the man, in addition to the other roles that a lot of women don't mind telling you what his roles are. You know, he also has to be those things. He has to listen to you when you're complaining about your job. you know, as far as be there for you. And not saying that it's right or wrong. I'm just saying as far as with it being lopsided, and it also as far as you talking about the different things that a man has to provide, whether it's, you know, him being a provider, him being a protector, him financially being stable, all these different things that he has to do that pretty much for the most part deal with finances. A lot of times deal with finances, and necessarily with the women it's just more so along the lines of being emotional. So that's why it's kind of difficult, because I know it's in this day and time you have women that make more than men, or you know, that are doing more than men, but at the same time it still can be frustrating because of the amount of things that they try to put on someone or put on a man, and at the same time they you know, they roll, not saying that it's right or wrong, it's just seeing purely emotional. Not saying that a lot of women say that they're not gonna be there for them, because I'm assuming most women will say, well, I do that too, but whatever. The aggressor, spoil her, reassure her that you are magnificent and all the other bullshit. Going on, man.
Should told that nigga keep the same energy.
Really?
Shit's what should told him.
Really?
Straight up.
That was beautiful.
Hey, yeah, that was eloquently put, bro.
Nah, but that's real though.
It's not what you initially said.
That's
it was
not what you-
it was
that's not what
eloquently
the
That
fuck
is what I said.
No, sir.
That is what
No,
I
sir.
said.
That's
Nah.
not what, like we not even gonna do that, bro.
That is what I said.
We not gonna do that. Cool. That's what he said.
No.
All right.
3 against 1.
Hey, you outnumbered on this.
Yeah, y'all niggas wrong. Y'all that's the first time.
Somebody can easily,
Shit when we last.
somebody can easily pull out their phone
easily
and
pull it out.
and pull up what you said
Come
That
on,
is what I
man.
said.
after every response.
After
was said.
every response was said, Father.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't agree with all those responses. That's what I said. I said I don't agree with that. I don't like the disparity in it when you have females that because it's different. Like you have females stuck between wanting to be independent and stuck between wanting to be
But from the feedback
this
that
old
we got,
fashioned.
majority of them really just kind of said the same thing. You
Yeah.
had one.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
had
no,
like a few off.
but I'm not disagreeing with that. But I'm saying you had a few of them that were more so along the lines of forward thinkers as far as it's a partnership.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There are no defined roles. You know what I'm saying? That shit is encouraging, because at the same time, like you have people that want to be in this old fashioned relationship that they either, you know, learn from TV or learn from, say, their parents or their grandparents or whoever they learn from. But at the same time, they're not willing to do those same things that go into it. That's the frustrating part.
Yeah.
So you saying this is what you want and this is what you want him to do, but at the same time, in the same breath, it's not the same thing. Like the shit don't add up, and that's the shit that be so frustrating. So that's why I was like, nah, I don't agree with all this shit, because I don't necessarily agree with it, because everything that you're saying that you're supposed to give me, I don't have a problem with it. It's just that that's all you got. Like you're not bringing nothing else to the table. Like one bro, like be his freak. Like
We ain't gonna do that.
I'm saying my thing is I don't have an issue with it.
Sound like you do.
Sound like you
No,
do,
the
bro.
problem is not me having an issue with it. The problem is that it's just so fucking lopsided. Like for instance, like with you.
But you know, we've already agreed with that regardless of whatever it is, it's gonna be lopsided as far as like the man having majority of the responsibilities or having to do more than a woman does. We've discussed that on the show.
Yeah, but even with that being said, as far as you being able to do more, or your expectation is for you to do more. Like, what about you? I'm saying, like, I don't have a problem with doing more, but can you do more too?
Yeah.
Like, what more are you doing? Like what's the plan? Like, we know people that it just like it has to be more of a median. You know what I'm saying? More of a balance.
But that's
more
where-
of a partnership, like one of the young ladies said.
Yeah, it is a partnership, but that's where it takes you and that person that you're with to like get to that level, like to have that understanding. And like we've talked about on previous shows, like going into the relationship, those are things that you should already just
Yeah,
be
but
discussed.
the shit be. I don't have a problem with the communication. I agree with that. I'm just saying, like, you gotta think about it. Like, a lot of shit be like mixed signals or lopsided. Like, take you for example. Like, you can be completely lopsided and, you know what I'm saying? Like some of the shit you say or some of the shit you believe is ridiculous, right?
Okay.
So, no, I'm saying like you would have, like, you would say, hey, you need to be submissive. You need to do this for me. This is what you need to do, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't pay all the bills, right? So it's like, but it's I'm not. No, I'm saying whatever it may be. I'm saying, but I'm saying it's like you want her to be this way, but you not all the way this other way. You know what I'm saying? Like you want her to be, say for instance, like a lot of people go off the Bible, like where the woman is supposed to be in the Bible, but you're not all the way as far as the way that you're supposed to be.
Somebody said in their response that this is a loaded question, and it is, but I disagree with why she thought it was a loaded question. I think it's a loaded question because that question depends on where that woman is in life as regards to her answer.
True. Now that is very true.
A woman who isn't where she would like to be mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, whatever, is going to ask the man to do more. Or her answer will be the one that you don't agree with. True. Meaning, I'm only bringing this to the table.
And I need you to cover everything else.
Yeah, not be able to match you. To whereas if there's a woman who is sure of herself financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically, whatever, she's willing to offer partnership. She's willing to match whatever it is
she
you
understands
bring.
exactly, she needs to, like, yin and yang.
So if there is...
what age would you say that's at?
Shit.
No, I'm asking like around. But I'm saying based on your experience, around what age do you start to see those experiences?
You know, I would probably say
I've experienced both. To where there are young ladies who have
do have some young. I would probably say.
I'm saying, but on average, not the
between like
every
25 and 28.
Okay, so after 28, let's just say after 28. Would you agree with that? Or say after 30. Would you agree with after 30?
No, I said like 25.
Okay. After 30, just to be
28 is a good number.
I said 28.
Okay, so after 28.
Number.
Cool. So for the most part, the women that you would date or come in contact are after 28 at this point. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So based off the women that you deal with that are after 28 and the people that you come in contact with, like how many of them have had that mindset?
The majority. Whether they can carry it out is a whole nother conversation. But the majority would like for me to believe that it's a partnership and they want to bring the roles that they want to bring to the table.
But how many are not just saying it? How many can actually do it?
That's it ain't a lot. Because some of the messages, some of the responses we receive, I laughed at. Because I don't think it's realistic. I think it's a pipe dream. I like for a woman to come to the table and say, "Hey, I'm willing to match you for whatever. I think my role is whatever your role is."
But that's what your expectation is.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. What you got?
Shit. I agree with. I kind of agree with both sides. I kind of see the point that Sean coming from. We said, depending on your age, I think that does have something to do with it.
So do you agree with say like women mindset that as far as having that mindset is after 28 or so?
I don't totally agree with it because some women just depend on how that woman was raised too. Because a lot of women were raised in church house. So
yeah, I'm saying, but more so, it may be a year or so before or after.
Yeah, I do agree that there's women probably like I'd probably say 30, 31. I would probably say older.
So how many of the women that you conversated with after 30 have been able to push forward with that partnership that you're talking about? Not just saying it, but actually, like Cuzzo said, being able to provide that.
I think I don't know the percentage, but I think you see it more. I think you see that a whole lot more women after the age of, I would probably say like 32, 33, because that's the age I can remember. I can't even remember like what it was when I was like 28, but like 32, 33, I think you see it more. I think it's more prevalent. I think you see a lot more women open to partnerships now than just saying, hey, all this on the man.
it's easier for them when they have the means to provide, or they have the means to match, or that they've just been through life and life has taught them that if I approach this way, it makes more sense. You have some women who don't like to be told what to do, who don't want no man hanging nothing over their head, so they're going to fight tooth and nail to match you for whatever else that you were willing to bring, because they've had those run-ins with men to where they didn't have whatever they needed, especially financially. Like you spoke on the financial piece of it, they didn't have the finances to match that person and whatnot. So it definitely, man, I'm really starting to think that it's probably 50-50.
H-Man, take it home. Go ahead, Coop.
No, I was gonna say I think you just see women open to it. I think life kind of kicked. I think life kind of kicked their ass a little bit. So yeah, of course they're more open to it.
Beat that ass up.
Yeah, I think you see too now. Like I think you just see. I think everybody sees the pressure of when it's on one person trying to pay for everything. That's a lot of pressure out here in this world. And I think some women now are just more kind of understanding now the simple fact, like, hey man, a man can't carry everything financially, and that she should carry something financially, either by what she sees in life, or understanding now that a lot of men not gonna go for that. Hey, I'm just sitting at home and you got to do everything type attitude now as well.
Harry, take us home, babe. What you got?
Well, no, I think the ladies gave good feedback.
Yeah,
a lot of that what they said is what a man is looking for.
I agree.
But to your point, like,
but not even just what they're looking for, but how many of them actually doing it?
That's what I'm saying. To your point, like, it's one thing to just say it. It's, are you gonna do it too, though?
Oh, single ass.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Bye.
I know he's not.
Bye.